All right. The brand basically has to be personal before it becomes public. It's in here. I have a dream that one day I'm going to have a brand that, guess what? It's going to be Sprite. I'm going to obey my thirst, or whatever you want to call them, other drinks out there. All those guys had a dream, y'all. And then the dream becomes a product. It's first you, personal. Then it becomes public. It has to identify before it becomes discovered. I have to identify this thing, man. And then when I identify this thing, guess what? You won't taste, you be like, ooh, that's so good. And then you're going to pass it over to your husband, be like, ooh, this is good to get right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now it's discovered. Then you go tell somebody. Then Facebook say, hey, maybe I need to tell somebody. Then LinkedIn say, ooh, I need to link up with somebody. You understand? And Pinterest say, I got to send a picture and tell somebody. Do you see how that operates? Then the brand that was identified by you is now discovered by everybody else through word of mouth. Work in your words. Oh, y'all are talking. Yeah, I love this. All right. It must be developed before distributed. It must be developed. You have to develop that brand. That means you have to go to this personal development. Who are you? And how do you want people to see you? When you walk in the room, your brand comes in before you do. And when you leave, it's still there. Like a good or a bad taste in somebody else's mouth, that's your brand. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. Sister just nod her head right there. So you just stretched out this part right here, the cervical area, and you just did a chin tuck, okay? Awesome. I love it. So that means the pec majors go up, pec minors point down. And guess what? Shoulders a little rounded. So I want you to do this for me, my sister. Rock on. And give her a hand. Give her a hand. That's branding. Before you leave, I want you to be branded. I want you to think different about your business. I want you to think about the service, and I want you to think about the lives that you impact. If you just run a business, shut it down, straight up. I don't beat around the bushes. I've been a classroom teacher, all right? And the best thing you can do for students is keep it real, okay? Every day you go home, think about the service, think about who you're impacting, and that's how your brand takes off. Because every day you can tweak it. Oh, it's not doing this. And I do a survey. Oh, well, it's not really doing what I wanted it to do. I thought it was going to do this. How can I tweak it again? And it gets better and better, and then you show up with your brand. And even if you didn't show up, guess what? Your brand is there. Yes? She went back. Oh, all right. Okay, let's rock and roll. Brand Basics 101. Okay, I won't be before you long. Trust me, I'm going to give you some key stuff, and I'm out the way, like a football. Let's get it. All right? So, a personal creation with a global intention. So you personally created this thing, right? Now, are you just going to sell this stuff in your backyard? You going to sell this in your backyard? Sir, you going to sell yours in your backyard? It's going to be in the garage, right? Of course not. You'd be like, man, you crazy. That's exactly what he said. So I'm thinking about a global thing. I want this in China. I want people to be speaking Chinese. Like I want them to say everything. I want to be in Africa. Who's say, how are you doing today? I want to product. I want to be everywhere. That's what I want it to be. Global intention. Because it's first you. Problem-based but solution-focused. What kind of problems do you see out there? You see a problem you see out there? You see a problem out there? Yes, there is a problem. And then when you come up with a solution for that, hey, I think we're talking something good. He liked that. He was like, yeah, I like that. I'm going to do that. That's branding. It's you before the market. It's cost selective but value driven. Cost selective. Okay, I'm not thinking how much it's going to cost me, but I'm thinking how much value I can create for other people. That's branding. Because you know some people are willing to drive across Canada just to get a good cup of coffee. There's a star, and I think it was a deer, a male deer, a buck, holding the thing, standing up like that, and you drove and you went into your windshield. And this is Starbucks. Come on, talk to me, people, okay? It said it is not a product. It is a personality that does what? Takes on the identity of what? The need that it was coming into what? You want the car to move, right? But then you got summer tires on, right? You're meeting a need, right? So I need to make sure I get some snow tires, right? Then I can move about. Does that make sense? Is everybody getting this? Is this making sense? I want branding to change. I want when you leave here, like, man, I was so glad I was here today. I want you to go home and rethink what you're doing. I want you to go back and say, let me go back to the table. Does that make sense, sir? Come on, man, give me some of that. Come on. My brother right here. I love this guy right here, okay?